Hey, this is part of Easton's technical series, and we all here at Easton are trying to make you a better bow hunter. Shot placement. Pretty simple. Know the anatomy of your game, and bears are a big fooler. First and foremost, let's be honest. Everyone's not shooting 7-foot black bears. Hate to bust your bubble, but a lot of times someone, you go to a camp and the guy, someone will measure it and they'll stretch it out on the picnic bench or the big sheet of plywood and go, oh my gosh, your bear's 7'3". You take it to the taxidermist. He starts making a rug out of it and he goes, yeah, and I squared your bear out. You owe me, he was 6'2". No, he wasn't. Yes, he was. Please understand, one of the hardest things to judge and to figure out shot placement is on a black bear. Knowing the anatomy of the game, the bone structure, knowing where the vitals lie is so critical to being more successful in the field. Now here, what we want to do is show you the National Bowhunters Education Foundation has these. The big thing, people are going to tell you, well, man, I could judge, boars and sows really easy, and very difficult thing to do. A lot of times your sows will have way smaller front shoulders and way bigger back hips, bearing hips, that's what we call it. A lot of times their muzzle, their nose will be pinnier. They won't have the depth in the skull normally like most of your older boars will do. Now, whether you're stand hunting, over bait, or whether you're spotting and stalking, the most critical thing to do is give yourself time to watch, and if you can't distinguish if it's a boar or sow, make sure it doesn't have cubs. The majority of the time, those cubs will never be without mama, unless a boar comes in, and then normally what she's gonna do is she's gonna tree your cubs, and she's going to stand and fight and posture towards that boar, especially in the springtime, because that's the rutting season. So understanding all that, let's talk about shot placement. Most of the time when we look, you're gonna say, okay, I gotta be right on this crease here, because that's what our mind, our muscle memory is all attuned to, is being right on the crease. Well, we're gonna show you now what happens when you're on this crease. Let's go here. I'm gonna hold this bear up here. So if my shot comes in right at this crease, right there, and he's quartering away from me, you see your arrow disappear. It goes right through. You think, yes. Give it 30 minutes, you go to start the recovery, you got some good blood, superficial blood, and it lasts about 60 to 80 yards, and then it's gone. Why? Look at that. On the point of impact, depending where you're shooting from, you came in on the shoulder, on the armpit, blew out somewhere in the front, never entering the chest cavity, because that arrow will go straight along that brisket and blow right out. Great blood first off, and then about 60 yards or so, 70, 80 yards, whatever, gone. Now I'm gonna show you the vitals. Look at where the lungs sit compared to the crease. You can see right here, come off the bone, from here, because that's what you're aiming for, and you come up, you see you can take them a little further back. So, how does that make sense? My shot on that same angle would have been here, boom, further back, not on the crease as that animal's quartering away. And my point of exit is right through the liver, lung, and heart. Right there, the tip is sticking right here. Knowing that, looking at that, see where we want that arrow. The other thing we want to realize is most of our arrows, the average arrow length is probably, let's say, 28 inches. So when you look at this in relationship to the bear, at 28 inches on a quartering away shot, you are in the vitals every single time unless you go too forward. All you've done is give a superficial wound to that animal, to that bear. So pay close attention to coming in, and what we've always tried to, even at our bear camp, is take that animal, split it this way into, and stay on the interior side of your mental visual line. And every time you do that, you're putting it right in the breadbasket. Now, everyone will say, man, I always go for a heart shot. You give me a lung shot any day, anywhere, anytime, with any animal. The heart's a muscle. So when you hit it, yes, it dies, and it dies quick. But you take those lungs out, it dies a lot quicker. Plus, the other thing is the bone structure on a bear compared to a deer is much heavier. And listen, I know people are gonna go, oh, well, man, I shot bears laying down before. Look at what happens. This bear comes to a bait site, or you're spotting and stalking him and he's laying down. He just got done filling his belly up on berries, you know what I mean, on the south slope. When he lays down, this leg, this joint here goes back. This one folds forward right here. This shoulder blade tucks down. This is a major arrow stopping tool right there. Shoulder blades are thick. Now, yeah, some guys are gonna say, man, I blow right through my shoulder blades. The reality of it is, why? Why try to hit something that can deflect your arrow, that can hurt your penetration? Get off that and always go for this area right in here. Again, quartering away, shot placement, entrance is going to be further back, but I'm always aiming through the animal to come out on the inside of that other shoulder. The other thing you want to pay real close attention to on your bears is as they come in, one, depending when they went in, you know, their hibernation, when you're hunting them, the hair's tall, it's long. And they also, in the spring, they have their molten hair, they have their hibernation hair, which is real thick. So the illusion is bigger bear, long hair, so you want to remember that you've got this much hair on the belly side. Where are you going to aim? Again, go straight up, go straight across, pick center, and stay on the inside of center on every time. Some people tell you, well, man, I've had a bear coming in and he was facing me and I took the shot and I put it, you know, right up in here. We can have that discussion all day long. Bears will give you the opportunity and turn broadside at some given time. Wait. Punch them through both lungs every single time, and we've had bears go 5 feet and go down. Through all this, what you always want to remember is understanding the anatomy, the bone structure, the thickness of the animal's hide. Do your research before you go on any hunt. A bear's reaction time is way slower, more docile than a white-tailed deer. So you have that opportunity, you know what I mean? As long as you're watching, you've got to remember, they're a predator. Their eyes are set forward. So their peripheral vision is like ours, not like a damn deer, elk, or turkey. When he turns, you come to full draw, anchored down, concentrate on your shot, and make sure you're holding where, again, like we said before, depending on how this animal is pivoted. If he's on a heavy quartering away, wait. If he's on a forward position like this, wait. Especially if you're at a bait site. And the other thing too is if you're spotting and stalking and he's out feeding, he's going to give you the opportunity. Just give it time. Don't push or rush your shot. Most everybody's deer setup is going to be efficient enough on a bear. Tell you right now, the only difference is because if you're hunting in the spring, thicker hide, the molten hibernation hair, all of that thick core hair, you know, underneath, can give you issues on penetration. If you're shooting a mechanical head or a large cutting diameter head, but you have low kinetic energy, you know, maybe start thinking about trying to decrease the cutting surface to increase the penetration. We've got Vicki and Aubrey, you know, they're heading out and you know, they're shooting in the low 50s. They're shooting lower kinetic foot-pounds of energy. So just tone your broadhead cutting surface down to increase the penetration on those thicker hide, bigger bone structured animals, just like the bear.